question isn't what do I need to do? It's who do I need to be? Welcome to day 3 of our Soul Alive Embodiment series. P.S. If you have not signed up for our masterclass that is happening tomorrow, go sign up for it now. It is free. The link is in my bio or show notes, depending on if you are watching live or hanging out on Instagram with me, or you're on Sacred Whisper podcast. So the question isn't what do I need to do? It's who do I need to be? We're going to dive deep into this conversation. We're going to take this even further on the masterclass and really deepen the embodiment of this together in a co-creation setting. So again, go get signed up for that, and I will see you on the live Zoom tomorrow. P.S. Time zones are totally a thing. So if you're like, shit, I can't make that time, don't even worry about it. Sign up anyway because you're going to get the replay. And now is a great time for my dogs to play. Hey! Okay. So, we're going to roll with it. Have you ever heard the saying, be, do, have? This comes up so often in like manifestation settings, right? And so often it's like we forget a step, right? Be, do, have. Now, I want to talk about that, and I have some other things I want to talk to you about as well. But if you have not listened to day 1 and 2, where did I do? Oh, here we are. We dove deep into who's the director, who is the director of your life. This is day 1. Don't listen to your talks, talk to yourself, activating and generating. We did an amazing activation that takes like under 2 minutes to literally activate your mind and also flood your body with the energy that you desire to be in. What are you activating for? And you are your priority. And then day 2, we talked about the coffee bean energy. I dove even deeper into like my experience in Texas for the past year that is very relevant to this conversation, and maybe some of you can relate. Gauging on what you have based on mindset versus mileage, getting into action on your aligned action into your goals, and what are you claiming? So go listen to day 1 and day 2. You can listen to it on IG, or watch it on IG, or listen on Sacred Whisper podcast, literally all podcast listening platforms. Today we're going to dive into like it's not about what do you need to do, it's who do you need to be, but we're also going to dive into honoring the struggle. I know this is going to be controversial, but hang with me, okay? And when was the last time, like honoring you? And then also we're going to talk about courage and integrity, like courage meeting integrity. So let's dive in. Be, do, have. I love this conversation because it does come up so much, especially in our communities, right? The spiritual and the healing communities. And when it comes to manifestation, and sometimes I think we forget a step, right? For whatever reason, in the last 6 months to a year, this piece really clicked. Like, you know, you hear something over and over and over, and then enough people say it, or you witness it within yourself, and you're like, oh, okay, for whatever reason, this is landing. I love when these moments land, and I love that they land at like such a deep level. You're like, duh, and it just becomes who you are. And at some point, sometimes it just becomes the essence of who you are, and you're like, oh, I'm actually doing this now, or I'm actually being this now, rather. And so when it comes to what it is that you are desiring, and specifically we're talking about becoming like soul alive and in the embodiment of the essence of who you are, here to be as a healer in this lifetime. What is it you're here to give in this lifetime? Who is it that you need to be first? Because that's the aligned action. You can go do the thing, but if you are in massive fear, doubt, limiting beliefs, imposter syndromes, if you are questioning, if you are in and out of the healer closet, like, then you're not in the being essence of who you are. And this does not take a long time, you guys. This does not take a long time. Like my clients will sometimes in like as little as like 15 minutes, they're like, oh, I get it. Okay. Like we were on our Evolution membership call. We have a sister circle call once a month. And P.S. if you're not in our membership, you need to like be in there. It's like the space for healers. and someone was going through some things and had like a fork in the road, is having a fork in the road moment. And she's like feeling really anxious. And then we did, she started talking about it and she started feeling better. And then we created some clarity. And she's like, actually, that created a little more anxiety in the body. And I'm like, great. I love when this happens because your body's telling you something. Let's process through this. And under 15 minutes, it was under 15 minutes, she felt better and had more clarity and was anchored in to not just her future self, but also her present, her present moment, right? Like really in that enjoyment energy and being in the present moment. And so you can take the aligned actions and you can be in that energy first. This is a priority, and go back and listen to day 1 because you are the priority. As a healer, your energy is your most beautiful gift that you are here to give to the world. And if you are not prioritizing you, you are not able to show up fully as you. I'm talking sleep. I'm talking working on your mindset, meditation, journaling, whatever that looks like for you. I'm talking about movement, walk, run, yoga, Pilates, lifting, whatever that looks like for you. And really prioritizing your energy and checking in on you throughout the day. How many times you actually check in on you during the day? I did a TikTok video on this recently. Oh my gosh, there's a hummingbird. I love them. I want a hummingbird feeder so bad. They're so cool. Okay, this is a side note. I started seeing them right before I went to Growth Day live event with Brendan Burchard and a bunch of the top speakers in the world. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes. These are so cool. And so I kept seeing them so much. So I looked up the spiritual meaning of them and I was like, wow. And then I found that screenshot because I sent it to my husband. I was like, oh my gosh. And I think I put it in my stories. And then I found it again, I think 2 days ago. And I was like, oh my God, this literally could not land even deeper. It was almost like a glimpse into what was coming. I'm like, oh my God. So many chills. So anyway, are you actually paying attention to the signs? Are you paying attention to the signs and taking aligned action? Like be, do, have. Because once you be in that energy, then you take the aligned action. What you're going to have is going to come. It would not be in your mind if it wasn't meant to be yours. Like truly you can feel like it's meant, like you can feel it at like a heart and soul level, right? So actually, let me move this so I can stay on track here. It's in the embodiment of future self energy. It's in the embodiment of what supports you in feeling or what makes you feel soul alive that your steps will be revealed. Sometimes it's like I'm feeling stuck. I'm feeling stagnant. I'm feeling like I don't have clarity on my next steps. And I'm like, stuck is an illusion. Write that down. Stuck is an illusion. And you're not lost. Man, that is so overused. I just got pencil all over myself. That phrase is so overused. And I'm like, you're not like a random sock that just happens to go missing from the dryer. You're not a set of sunglasses, a pair of sunglasses that you're like, where are my sunglasses? And you're like walking around with it on your head. I'm like, no, it's not even possible for you to be lost. Like anchor into your present moment. And sometimes what we just need to do is come back home to you. Come back home to you. And so I don't want to dive too deep into that, but you are not lost. You are not stuck. And it might feel like you're stagnant, but I promise you, you're not. That is an illusion. And so those steps will be revealed to you when you are in the embodiment of that version of you that you desire to be in. So let me give you an example of the craziest things that happened. Okay. Actually, and I want to give you, let me give you an example of real time things that have happened recently that have really they have nothing to do with business, but they have everything to do with the embodiment of future self. So, okay. So Friday, I was taking my son to an appointment in the city. We live on the outskirts of the city. And I got to close to his high school and we were at a 4-way stop. I'm so glad that I drove that day and it wasn't him because I knew what I needed to do. And it, like, my nervous system went, I was at a busy 4-way and my Jeep just stopped. It like shuddered, just a light shudder, and then just turned off, and I was like, the fuck? And like, of course you're not expecting your vehicle to do that, right? And so when it did that, and it didn't give any indication that anything was going to happen. And so I was like, shit. And so I pulled the key back, turned it back on, and I was like, okay, we good. I'm a little like, whoa. And while we were still at a red light, I texted my husband like super quick. I was like, SOS PS, my Jeep just did this thing. It turned off at a busy intersection, and I am kind of like, my nervous system is like, whoa. And I think we need to take this in. And so he gave me a call. And as I was on the phone with him, dropping my son off, it did it again in the high school parking lot. And I was like, shit. But it turned back on, and he stayed on the phone with me until we got to my house, which is not far from the high school, but it's far enough, and there's not a whole lot of places to get out of the way. And there's quite a bit of traffic. And so I was like, okay. And I was like, on the way home, I was like, calming my nervous system down and just expecting to make it there. And then he's like, I'm able to get to you. I'm able to have somebody cover my shift. I'm coming to you. And then, because we weren't sure if I was going to make it home or not. Turns out my extended warranty, actually I have a thing where they can come tow my truck and it's covered by warranty. I had no idea. So that's great. I've had my warranty since 2021, you guys. Okay, so I get home and I'm like, let me hook it up. I have a code reader for various reasons. I have a Jeep Wrangler. So I plugged in the code reader, got the code, sent it to Matt, Googled it, found out what it was, and I was like, yep, that makes sense after I'm like reading about it. And I'm like, okay, so I'm reading the warranty, and I'm like, everything, because I wasn't sure if it was 3 years or 6 years. I'm like, if it was 3 years, it just expired. Actually, I got 6 years, 125,000 miles. And I'm like, fuck yes, this is all going to be covered. It's not a big deal. And when Matt got home, he drove my Jeep. I drove the truck, followed him to the dealership today. So normally, let me just tell you this. I would have in the past spiraled the F out. Something like this would have sent me. And the only reason why my nervous system was so activated was because it freaked me out, because I was not expecting that. And then it kind of like made me on edge. I'm like, please make it home. We're making it home. I am safe. And I'm like, so I was just like still in my workout clothes, hadn't worked out yet. And I was like, that's not happening today. It's okay. And so I was just sitting in the Jeep, enjoying the fresh air and the nice weather, and reading over my warranty. I'm like, great, this is going to be covered. This is awesome. And then no big deal. Got the call today. I had a feeling, my intuition has been off the charts this year. It's like activated extra this year. And so I was like, something else is going to be wrong with my Jeep. I haven't had any indication of any issues, but something else is going to be wrong with it. I got a call and there was something else that was wrong with it. But it's all covered. It's all going to be covered by warranty. They called the warranty company. They're just waiting to hear back, but it's all like everything that he mentioned is all covered, so it should be fine. Just a small deductible of $100. Okay. Should be. Okay, so then yesterday I was doing our finances. It had been a little bit because I was at Growth Day event. I was recovering last week from coming back from the 3 days. I was gone for 4 days event. And I realized I totally fucked up something with my mortgage. I accidentally, I set up our automatic payment through the mortgage company. And I'm going to share with you why this is relevant as well. And I want you to look at different areas in your life that would have caused you to spin out. Okay. So this was yesterday afternoon, and I didn't realize that I actually had auto pay set up in my out of our checking account from our bank. And I totally forgot that I did it. I thought I set it up through the mortgage company. Whatever. So I was like, crap, they took out the amount, and I was like, oh, actually it was me. I forgot to cancel. And when I called, they were like, well, it's in the 3-day window from when it's scheduled to come out, so there's nothing we can do about it. But then she transferred me. I was like, there was nothing she could do about it because it wasn't her department, so she transferred me to someone else. At this point, yesterday, I was like, shit, am I going to be able to get this fixed? Oh no. And then, so I did definitely, I was like, oh shit. And I had a moment. And then I was like, okay, it's going to be fine. There's nothing I can do about it today. It's Sunday. So I'm going to call Monday. And I was like, and actually, I'm not going to call first thing in the morning because they're in Pacific time. So I could have called right when my son left for school. But I was like, you know what? I'm actually not going to call right when he leaves for school. I'm actually going to have breakfast. I'm going to do my journaling. I did breath work this morning instead of a meditation. That's what felt aligned. And it took care of myself. Then I called. And when I journaled out, I just like held the energy and the intentions of the best possible outcome. And she was like, actually, there's a work around this and it's no big deal. It took her under 5 minutes and it was solved, period. And I was like, something like this would have spun me out in the past. And it's in these moments where it's like, actually, I am in the future self energy. I am. And this is such a reflection of your growth too. And I just had to sit back and I have a moment. Like I might have had a moment, but then I'm like, come right back to like, no, it's all going to work out. Like there's too much evidence. You have survived 100% of every single day. Why wouldn't it work out in your favor now? Why wouldn't it work out in your favor now? So I really want you, this is a great journaling prompt. I want you to journal out, where is it that maybe would have spun me out, but I actually recovered a lot faster, or my nervous system stayed neutral. And celebrate yourself, because that's you in your essence. Hear me when I say that's you in your essence. And this does not have to take a long time. Something like this can happen quickly. And so you are literally in these moments training your mind to know. When you are in that future self energy, training your mind and the be energy, you are training your body and your mind to know what you're here to be, what you're here to do, and what you're here to have. And the answers, those come through play. Those, they come through the discovery. They come from choosing no plan B. Burn the fucking bridge. There's no plan B. No plan B. Get out of the healer closet. Slam the door. Choose to go live. Choose to go get on stories. Choose to do the posts. Choose to share with somebody. Hey, I'm really interested in starting a Reiki business. Or hey, I am a coach. I coach women with XYZ. Like, create the offer. People are waiting for you. They're waiting for you to be the healer that you know you're here to be. They're waiting for you. Okay. Come into the comments or slide into my DMs and let me know how that resonated. I also want to talk about honoring the struggle too. And this all just really ties together really perfectly. Like I wrote this was a shower thought PS, the white one. But like this all ties together really beautifully with some of the things, some of my favorite parts of, there's too many favorite parts of Growth Day. I'm like, what do I want to implement? Everything! Let's just go a little bit crazy because why not? Just kidding. I have 3 things that I'm really implementing. But honoring the struggle, this really hit me because the last couple of years have really been tough. And I did a post that I think was kind of taken out of context when I put it on my Facebook page, which is not really surprising. But it was like, I think it was like that trend that goes, probably needed a hug, but instead, and then I was like, I can't remember the exact verbiage, but it was something like probably needed a hug, but instead, and I put a bunch of pictures and videos from the event, and I was like, but instead got into the room with like-minded souls who are literally here to make an impact, and whatever I said. The point wasn't that I need a hug. Like, oh, I'm totally here for hugs. I will give and receive a hug. And it was more about getting outside of my comfort zone and doing something that I said I was going to do, even though there was only 48 hours. It was like 48 hours before the event, and I still needed to get everything in alignment for my kids, and my husband's schedule was crazy, and like whatever. It was about that. And so the last couple of years, so I talked about, like, in that caption, go find that post and read it, about our experience in Texas so far has been really fucking hard. I've struggled planting my feet here. And over that weekend, I actually realized, like, by the end of the weekend, I was actually, like, at peace here. And I was like, oh my God, I've been waiting for this moment. Like, I felt like my schedule had landed, but but I was like, I felt peace here. And that was huge. And that's like so minor compared to some of the things that we've been through, especially in the last 3-ish to 5 months. But honoring the struggle. You will make it out, or you will find a way around it, or you will work through it. And I want to say this with so much love, and also from a space of someone that's been through some really tough things that I don't share on social media. Some of them are not mine to share. And I'm just like, I think probably about, I want to say about 3 years ago, but definitely in the last 2.5, maybe it's been closer to 4 years now. But I really got to a point where it's like, no, I know I'm struggling. Like there's a struggle where there's personal or, whatever had been going on. But the way that I get to the other side of this is through. And it doesn't mean that my whole life has to stop, but I'm going to honor that struggle while I'm also working on myself. There has never been a point, I'm trying to think, there was one point in my business in the fall of 2022 that I did stop a lot of external posting, but I was still doing stuff in my business behind the scenes. I was still working out kinks and behind the scenes. I was still taking care of my clients and responding to DMs and things like that, and taking care of some other things. But otherwise, I'm still working. And through all the things that we have been through, I still show up, and I don't allow the struggle that has been going on to close myself off. Those are the moments where I lean in even more, where I find my joy even more, where it is that brings me the most joy while I'm working on the stuff that I need to work on, and I'm honoring what it is that had been coming up for me. Where is it that you had been having a struggle and it's like, let me retreat, when really you need to lean in. I see this a lot in the spiritual community where it's like, they're leaning out instead of leaning in. And what I want to encourage you, and it's oftentimes, it's like I'm leaning it, there's a leaning in a way that's incorrect for their energy, that drains their energy. It's like, instead of simplifying and also taking away the distractions like doom scrolling, I don't know about you, but that does not give me energy. And since I've been back from the event, I could care fucking less about picking up my phone and scrolling. I don't care, which is so weird. This is something I've been working on. It's like I'm checking in on the people that I want to check in on. I am engaging with my amazing community. You guys are so amazing. You bring me so much life and joy. And I'm not I don't care to doom scroll because it takes my energy and my time. I would rather pour that into something else that gives value and that gives me life and joy, right? And it's like leaning into someone that can support you while also simplifying everything else and showing up in a way that's exciting for you and gives you life versus taking it. Okay. When was the last time that you actually honored you? When was the last time you actually just sat back and you're like, damn, I have been through it. And yes, still I rise. Somebody said this to me recently, and they said, give yourself a standing ovation for this. And I burst into tears. I was like, I don't know. It's like, I celebrate along the ways. I see how far I've come and what I've done and how I've overcome. And the survival rate is 100% of every single day. And also, I don't know that I've actually just sat in it and been like, damn, yeah, girl. And there's a version of me that is so proud of the steps that I've been able to take. And there's a future version. Oh, I got chills. Somebody needs to hear this. There's a version of you in the future that is so proud of the work you're doing on you. The way you continue to show up, the way you continue to pour into you, the way you continue to invest in you, the way that you continue to bet on you, the way that you continue to get closer and closer home to your soul essence and understanding who you are and what it is that you are here to do. And can you just be in that energy? And I really want to encourage you, to take that aligned action. Like homework, P.S., your homework is to sit in that energy and that essence and honor yourself. Stand up and give yourself a standing ovation. Like put on a dance music and celebrate the fuck out of yourself. Get like pat on the back, like whatever it is that you need to do for you. Like just get so excited about how far you've come. Cry, laugh, dance, play, whatever it is you need to do to celebrate you. Like go get it, because you won. You won. And it's time for you to collect that energy. And the last thing I want to talk about is courage. Courage comes from integrity. Let me say that again. Courage comes from integrity. Courage isn't something that I think some people are just born with. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't pretend to know everything, but this is just what I'm sensing. I think it's something that is developed. I don't think certain people are born without fear. I think they learn to face it and overcome it. And when it comes to like this concept of courage comes from integrity, like you're facing the fear and you're moving anyway. That's integrity. It's like, I said I was going to do this thing. I said I wanted this thing. This thing is showing up for me now. Are you moving or are you sitting in the fear? I did a TikTok video on this. I think I posted it yesterday at the time that I am recording this. So what is today? The 14th or something of April. Short, like maybe 60-second video, I think. And it's like, are you actually aligned with the decision that you've made? And you feel like really at peace in your decision? Or do you feel at peace and aligned in your decision because it's comfortable? Let me say that again. Are you actually in alignment with your decision because you feel at peace and you're calm, which that could be the case, or do you feel calm and aligned and at peace because it's still in your comfort zone? Some of you guys are playing still in your comfort zone and calling it peace. And I dare to say your soul did not come here to not grow, not evolve, not change. And when I had this realization of that, I was like, nope, we move. I said I wanted to go to more live events. I went to Mexico in January after a major traumatic family situation had just happened. I already planned to go, and I was like, no, I'm not canceling this. This situation is being supported and taken care of. I'm fucking getting on that plane and I am going. And it changed my life. And then I said I wanted to go to more live events this year. There is something later on this year. As soon as it was dropped, like boom, I bought tickets. I was like, I'm in. I said I wanted to get into the room with like-minded souls and grow and expand, and I forgot about the event. And then when I saw it again, I was like, shit, I've got a decision to make. This week is so packed. Don't care. Boom. Bought the ticket. Boom. Paid for the hotel and left. My husband is a military training instructor. That week he was graduating one of his flights, and turn around 24 hours later, picking up a brand new flight. Like he was like exhausted and not home, and he was like, go. So I went, and it changed my life. Comfort or expansion doesn't always come from the four walls that you sit in. It comes from getting out of your comfort zone. And when we're guiding and supporting these amazing souls, and we're asking them to get out of their comfort zones and trust, are you getting out of your comfort zone on a regular basis and stabilizing your nervous system? Here's what happened. I'm not going to tell you everything because you can go listen to it on Sacred Whisper. I think it's episode 83 and 84. They're like 30 minutes. Just pop it in. Let me hang out with you while you're cooking or whatever. But my nervous system freaked. And this was just at like an hour and a half from me, and my nervous system was like, whoo. And it's funny because I've been an entrepreneur most of my adult life, and it's something about it. Something about it. I could have been like, no, this is scary. I'm on the brink of panic and I'm not going to go, and I'll just call it whatever for the ticket. But I went anyway. And within 30 minutes, I had laughed, I had danced, I had cried, I had aha moments, and I was like, I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm exactly where I need to be. And so how often are we calling it peace and alignment, but it's still in your comfort zone? And it's coming back to that integrity within yourself. It's coming back to what brings you soul alive. And like, look, we're doing Qigong all day. We are having dance parties off and on all day. I am getting up and I am like doing squats to like get the blood flowing. Like, we're doing some weird shit, okay? We're doing that within our four walls. And also, I'm getting out of my comfort zone. Doing things that make me uncomfortable. Are you doing that too? And I knew this got to be a conversation when I posted on TikTok, I think yesterday, and somebody was like, I'm not moving because I'm afraid. I'm like, yeah, because what's on the other side is uncomfortable to your nervous system. You are a high vibrating soul having a human experience. We can't bypass the subconscious mind and the nervous system, but sometimes you just have to move anyway. Because what happens is you're like, I'm afraid, but I can feel like I'm supposed to go there. Like, I can feel that pull. So go, because that's what's going to support you in becoming more soul alive. There's something for you there. It feels uncomfortable because it's outside of what your mind deems as safe, but you're probably not going to be chased by a saber-toothed tiger. And so how can you come closer home to your essence? How can you embody the healer and the woman that you are here to be? How can you become more soul alive? Again, it's closer home to you. You're not broken. You're not lost. There's nothing that needs to be fixed. It's simply a coming home to you. It's through looking at the fear. I'm moving anyway. Doing what's uncomfortable. I'm moving anyway. It's facing the truth of you. It's also honoring how far you've come. Again, give yourself a freaking pat on the back. Like, you've come so far. 100 out of 100. That should be on a t-shirt or something. You've survived 100% of every single day. Congratulations. So come into the comments and let me know how this landed for you. Or if you're listening on Sacred Whisper, come into my DMs. Let me know how this landed for you. I want to hear from you. I love to hear from you. It's one of my favorite things. Connecting, community, pouring in however I can give to you. I absolutely love it and adore it. If you are not signed up for our free masterclass that is tomorrow, 4:15, link is in the bio or show notes in Sacred Whisper. Even if you're not able to make it live, which I hope that you can, sign up. If you're like, yep, I need to be in that room, I will send you the replay so you can still be in the room, so to speak, but like be in that energy and come closer. We're going to have a conversation around anchoring this in, becoming more soul alive, and a co-creation of energy in a live Zoom room that is a lot easier to do than like on a podcast, which I absolutely love doing, or on IG Live, which I also absolutely love doing. But it's going to be a really powerful experience to really anchor this in. If you haven't listened to day 1 and day 2, go listen to those. It's the previous 2 podcast episodes, or they're all in a line on my IG if you'd rather watch and be in that vibe. And 2, if you are ready to truly embody this energy of coming home to your soul essence, of coming home to you, who you are and what it is that you know you're here to do in a capacity that can truly only be done in person, then our Embody retreat is for you. And I want you to DM me. Like, you'll know. You've seen me talk about it. You've heard me talk about it. And maybe you haven't reached out yet, or maybe you have and you're like, I thought it was a no, but I think it's actually a yes. Let's have a conversation around this. We only have 3 spots remaining. And this is really to deepen your own embodiment as a woman and healer that you are here to be. This, like, when you leave this retreat, you will go home a completely different person. And what I love about being in person is that it's that energetic connection. It's the human to human connection. It's the activity. Yeah, it's the activities that we're going to do that are absolutely going to anchor this in. And it's that in-person connection I can't explain it except for when you get into the room with other people that are like-minded and you open yourself up to the opportunity and expansion of growth, your life literally changes. So DM me retreat. I'll send the information your way. Again, we only have 3 spots. And I will see you on our Soul Alive Masterclass as well. Bye.